take a drink of water first before I start the video. So this video might end up being kind of a mess because I've come into this with absolutely no plan. I have scribbled out a page of notes in about 5 minutes, about 20 minutes ago, and it is just because I have wanted to make this video for quite some time, but I haven't had really the time to fully put together something that is well thought out. So here we are, me standing in front of the camera, anxious and scared. Hi, if you're new to this channel, which you probably are, my name is FacemanArt, and I am mainly a digital artist who creates weird, ethereal, horror, surrealist animal art, and then sometimes videos. So like RFK Jr., I have also had a worm slowly consuming my brain, but my worm is actually just the idea of creating art in our current climate. And I'm not solely just talking about the more economic market side of things where you have a lot of artists losing their jobs, the field becoming more difficult due to the increasing pace of consumerism and capitalism and AI and the absolutely nightmare triangle that thing creates, but also the more emotional, abstract part of it that I have been seeing unfold more and more online, where I think people are almost discouraged, or they kind of feel this sense of dread that is sweeping across just the idea of creating art and what the future holds for if there's even really a point. I wanted to tackle that head on because it is a sentiment that makes me sad personally. So I'm going to go over this in much more detail throughout the video, but the meat and potatoes of it is that I really think that creating art is the most important thing that you can do as a person on this earth. I've been thinking about the concept of the point of art and what is the importance of art. And I think back to this unreleased Kendrick Lamar song called Prayer that came out. In the song, in classic Kendrick Lamar fashion, he raps from the point of perspective of pieces of art, in particular pieces of art that are tied to problematic people, or at least people that had elements of issues in their life, and what art means in that context. But at the very end of the song, he has a very deep and impactful line that I think about often in relation to this idea of creating art. And it is,
just know the earth is just a rock without the voices of art. Sincerely yours.
And I think that's really powerful because it really puts into perspective the idea of, you know, the pointlessness of life, if you want to get nihilistic about it, and what art does in the face of that reality. Beyond your own personal ambitions as a human being, you know, finding love or pursuing passion or building a family or whatever you may want to do in life, I don't think it's a stretch to say that art is really all life is. And I think that's easily forgotten by a lot of people in the busyness of the world. And it's easy to forget about when, you know, we have so many issues and crises that we currently live through, and global warming and cost of living, and just trying to, you know, just make it another day. It's easy to forget about the importance of art. But when you really break it down, you know, movies and books and poems and music and painting and digital art and all these things that I know a lot of people spend their time scrolling through feeds nowadays, and I think there's a lot of discussion on what is and isn't art when it comes to especially short form content. But everything we really consume through our whole lives is art. And I'm also not saying that I'm some kind of philosopher that's cracked the code and no one has realized that all of life and human experience is the consumption and creation of art, and the transformation of art. But I think it is something that a lot of people forget about. I think art is at a stage where it is being continuously devalued. And personally, not to tie, you know, my personal politics to this whole video, but I do think it is directly the result of our late stage capitalism system that we're living in, and the result of AI in that system. I think it has always been the case, but more and more I feel that there is this sense of art being a waste of time, especially with, you know, the AI crowd. And just to be clear, just to go on a quick little tangent on the horrors of AI, beyond, you know, the moral objectivity I have it, the environmental impact, I really do think that AI art, if you want to call it that, isn't art. And it can never be art, because art is the innate expression of human emotion. And I think a lot of the times people that are supporters of AI art will say, oh, you know, when digital art came out or when photography came out, people fought against that as not being art. But AI art, AI generation is something that is completely different. It is its own beast, because in digital art, in photography, there is intention and an expression of emotion from the artist, the person taking the picture, the person drawing or painting digitally. This is all an expression of the collective experiences of an individual, of how they have consumed culture and been shaped by culture, and how they see fit to contribute to culture. And when you look at AI art, that is just something that cannot happen. These images, no matter how much fine tuning someone does through prompting, are the artificial interpretation of a machine's idea of the expression of emotion. It is not a collection of experiences or an influence of culture that has created this image. And because of that long-winded idea, I don't think that AI art, no matter how advanced it gets or how many times someone needs to, you know, re-prompt it, it will never be art. And I think that's an important distinction to make when I talk about the importance of creating art as an individual. Okay, so with that whole AI art can of worms dealt with, shout out RFK Jr. on the whole worm situation again, I think that kind of shows the dichotomy of art as a valuable expression of culture and what it means to my dog sneezing on my feet and shaking. Oh, who's the... So, in summary, I think you have two big points. On one side, you have the fact that art is a ever-present constant in our lives, and whether you truly realize it or not, the continuation of art and how it influences culture and how culture influences us is kind of the whole point of everything. And then you have AI art, and it's almost like the antithesis of what art is. So maybe there is some value in it when we're looking back at this whole saga of AI art, this whole era of what art isn't. And it's kind of interesting because I don't know if we've ever had something that can be created that is, as far as I understand it, as far as I believe it, not art. Anyways, I have no idea how we're gonna pull this all together in the editing stage. Hopefully it is a coherent video, and if it's not, I apologize. But the whole point of this video was to just tell, hopefully one person out there maybe, that is thinking of getting into art, or they're an amateur artist and they are discouraged about the environment that we live in, to keep going. Because I know it is so daunting to be an artist in today's times and feel like so many people are devaluing your art and devaluing your importance. But just know that they're wrong. Keep creating art. It is the most important thing you can do. That's it, I guess. If you enjoyed the video, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, checking out the channel. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon where you can get a new print or sticker every month if that's something you're interested in. They look like this. Put them on the screen. Throw them on the... Or you can just follow me here on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, all my stuff down below. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully there was some value in this video and I didn't waste your time, because your time is valuable. I think you should exit out of this video and go create some art. That would be really cool. And if you do, you know, tag me in it or something online. That'd be kind of cool. All right. Thank you very much. Bye. Keep creating. Peace out. Bye.